I'm trying to get this camera right. I feel like I can't quite get the right angle here. All right, guys. Well, I already did my hydrogen routine this morning, which I did not get on camera. And now I'm going to make my breakfast. And I already did my water routine so that you guys don't have to see that because some people don't like the long videos. So first I start with the Purium powder. Why the Purium powder? Is to make sure I get all my nutrients. And that reminds me, oh boy, I just remembered something I got to do. Well, I'll get to that later. I just have to make sure to write it down or I'm going to forget. I'm going to do 2 scoops. And that's how I'm going to start that process off. There's a lot of good nutrients in this. It's all from your food. So that's why I do it. Wow, you guys were quick. Was wondering if you were having a smoothie today. Yeah, you know, I started late today. Sometimes I do intermediate fasting. I did a lot of stretching. I had all sorts of work calls that came in early this morning, which were unexpected. You know, just things that happen, guys, you know, as you know, throughout the day. And oh no, I don't see that I have enough greens. I think I'm gonna have to go get some from my other refrigerator again. I keep messing up like this. Here, I know I'm supposed to be doing a live video and things just kind of happen. Hold on one second, guys, because I just been so crazy busy. It's hard to sometimes do these live videos too because everybody tries to call and I'm using my phone actually for the video. But I still have to do my morning routine. It's just that if the phone wasn't on, I'd be able to, like, you know, take work calls and do different things that I would have to do. But let's talk health, shall we? This is for you, for the few of you, because there's only 6 of you, but I'm doing this really for you guys. I really want you guys to try to get in a routine. We're on day 6. I'm starting to number these live videos, even though I've been doing them way longer than 6 days. But I'm trying to number them so we can see how long we've been doing these. And sometimes some people will say, hey, on this video, on day whatever. But let me run real quick and get more greens because we're going to need more greens for our smoothie today. And definitely doing some intermediate fasting because I finished dinner. I guess I would say I'm probably on at least 18 hours of no food, which is totally fine. I mean, you know, it's not the funny thing is to me that's just like no big deal. I mean, to me it just seems relatively normal. Oh, both are the same date, and it's no big deal. But a lot of people, I find it funny actually that a lot of people make a big deal about it. They're like, oh, you know, I'm doing intermediate fasting, like it's something difficult, and I'm like, you're still eating. I get to eat. I don't know. It's not a big deal to be hungry for, you know, a couple hours is like no big deal. Now, when you start going crazy amounts, which I've done in the past, days and days and days and days and days, that's when it gets really hard. Like I said, I've done that. You get very weak, very tired, and it's some of it's probably too much. But there's some really amazing benefits that I've seen. In fact, I got some awesome testimonials. I was thinking about making a video. I just recently got a testimonial today, and I get them quite often, but today's was kind of unique, kind of special, and probably should make a video about that today. And even the guy was surprised. He's like, is there any data on this? And I'm like, you know, on some of it there isn't, but I already knew that it would do it. And he's like, how can you know if there's no data? I'm like, well, you have to understand that understanding what hydrogen actually does, just, it's like almost like a no-brainer. But I mean, I'm happy and I'm impressed, you know, what this happened for this guy's wife. It had to do with pregnancy and breastfeeding and certain things in regards to labor. I mean, it was impressive because they've had multiple kids. And they had the same issue every time, and this time with the hydrogen, they didn't. And I was going to do a more detailed video about it, so that was another phone call that I was on. I couldn't get on to do my smoothie. Well, this live video, I could have probably done the phone call But then I wouldn't be able to show you guys a smoothie video. And well, you know, I really am trying, guys. I'm making an effort. At some point, this is gonna have to slow down because I don't think I can do this forever. But I really want to get you guys on a good routine, and you know, and look, and I want to make this clear too, because somebody was making a comment about this too, and I get comments like these every once in a while. Is my smoothie the most perfect food or thing in the world for your health? I would say no. You know, there's always room for improvement. There's always room for perfection. And the thing is that people give me a hard time. They're like, well, that's not perfect because you could do this or you could do that. It's like, look, I'm not saying that it's perfect. And I never created it with the intention of thinking that it's perfect. What I tried to do was find an alternative to eating eggs and bacon or eating, you know, Lucky Charms cereal or whatever. And you guys know, none of this is medical advice. Maybe your doctor will say, no, you should be eating Lucky Charms. I don't know. None of this is medical claims either. You know, I'm just saying that, in my opinion, stuffing your body with a bunch of fruits and vegetables and nutrients is better than those alternatives. Now, maybe there's a better way. Now, what's funny is these people contact me and they say things like, this is not perfect. This is not good. You can, you know, they never give. And I don't bother arguing with people. That's one thing I don't do. I don't have time for it. I don't want to argue with you. Go look, if you don't like my smoothie, don't make it. You know, if you know what's perfect, then you should be doing what you know is perfect. But they never give the actual, like, they never say, you know, this is what would be perfect. They don't know the answers. They just like to complain. And you know what? That's okay. I mean, if that's what they want to do, that's fine. Just don't, you know, I'm a little surprised sometimes when people contact me trying to tell me that, you know, my ways are not perfect. So anyway, guys, you know, whatever, right? Look, you can try to argue, but you can't argue my blood work. So you can argue all you want, but I would always be willing to put up, and this is, I mean, not to be arrogant, but I would be willing to put my blood work up against anybody's, you know, just to see what works. Who knows? Maybe there's a guy out there who does it better, but I did my research and I've never really found anybody who does it better, in the sense that it's got to be accessible, it's got to be cheap, or at least affordable, and it's got to be possible. So, I mean, it only takes me, what, roughly 20 minutes to make a smoothie every morning if I'm not, you know, if I'm just doing it real quick, you know? So, anyway, am I just sounding crazy? Am I a Looney Tunes? Let's see. Dana Mitchell says, good morning. Dana says, I mean, good afternoon. I know. Yeah, okay, we're doing blueberries. Obviously, you know, it's funny. I'm like talking to you guys, but the truth is probably nobody's listening. I mean, I'm like talking, and people are like, there's only a couple people in your video. You know what it is that I'm just kind of an open book. So whatever's going on in my life, I just share with you guys. And like I said, everything that I just shared is just what's been coming up lately. And I'm like, okay, interesting. But you know what? There have been other people, I will say, I mean, there are people who have contacted and said they love the smoothies, that they make them feel really great. And the thing is, it's hard to get enough of your fiber. So that's why the smoothie to me is also a really great way to get, you know, fiber and minerals and plant phytonutrients. I just don't think it's possible. Well, I mean, it is possible, but it's difficult when people have a busy life. And, you know, sorry guys, I'm putting on a little cold pack, and I got a heat pack here too. I like cold packs and heat packs, as if you haven't noticed. I just realized I didn't put my chlorella in there. And that's okay. I'm going to skip that today because honestly, I won't be using it much longer anyway. But the other one that I forgot, see, did you notice I messed up the order? Anyway, it's okay. The flax seeds, hopefully they don't get stuck on the sides, because that's what happens if you don't put them in at the beginning. But I'm going to put them in there because flax seeds are really good for you, especially, well, according to data, especially for women, but I think they're good for men too. They just happened to do a study on women who were, I believe, pregnant or going through menopause and stuff like that. And I like to get the whole flaxseed and grind it down from freshness. Let's see, what do we got here? Tell you one thing, we got a lot of things that I'm liking. And they're simple ingredients. I mean, I'll tell you, carrots are very cheap. Celery is actually quite cheap. And beets are cheap. So I use all the cheap stuff. Natto, on the other hand, is a little bit more spendy. But it's not, I mean, not that bad. All right. I don't care, right? It's good for my body. Okay, this is the crappy part. See, that's the sneaky little stuff they do in this world. We're gonna throw that crap out. And if you want to know if you want to find organic natto, look for this little tiny leaf. That little leaf is a sign of organic on natto. This is the magic mustard, which I'm gonna keep because I say magic. It just tastes. It's good. Oh look, I almost forgot this. I feel like I'm in a hurry today. Everybody's waiting for me, so I gotta keep moving. But anyway, guys, life is full of people who will always disagree with you. And you know what? I hate to say it. I'll just tell you my perspective. I don't really, I don't want to sound mean, but I just don't really care. If you disagree, just don't do it, right? It's called freedom. Okay, we're going to activate the natto. You know, I just, you know, do what you want to do. Do what you think is best. And you know what? This is what I do. Measure and make sure that what you're doing is working. So if you decide to get blood work and your doctor's like, say, well, you're doing it your way and you have high blood pressure, or your blood's not looking so good, just be honest about it. I've seen other health people who have done their own path and their blood work did not look good. And you know what? They were in denial. They're like, oh no, it's just that the medical system's numbers are totally off. And it's like, okay, well, you can believe that. And sometimes they're off a little bit because they have modified them throughout the years. But it's like, look, at some point you have to just don't be too partial. Like some people are so like they believe in certain things and they want to make a square peg fit in a round hole. And it's like that's not the way that I am. I'm all about, wow, look at this thing. This thing is just wow. Look at this thing. This thing is really activating. I can tell today. See how that white foamy look amazing. This is good natto, guys. This is some good stuff right here. I got me some good natto. Where'd you buy that natto? I don't know. I just kind of magically appeared in my refrigerator. That's my life. People come to my door and just bring me stuff. Of course, I'm kidding, by the way. It's just sometimes people ask me that all the time. It's like, you do realize that it's food from Asia, right? Now, this one's Japanese, but other people eat natto too. They are even making it in America. Some companies make it in America because somebody, I think from Norway, messaged me and they're like, how about this natto? I ordered this. Is this good? And it's funny because people are contacting me and saying, hey, what brand natto do you recommend? And I really do kind of, dare I say, laugh a little bit because I'm like, look, it's kind of like asking me what brand of carrots. You do realize natto is a food, right? What brand of, apples? It's like, whatever is organic and try to do your best, guys. I don't know the brands. I mean, I pick different ones and they taste different. And to be honest, there's some really neat natto. I've been trying different kinds. And I tasted one the other day. I'll show it to you maybe, probably not today, but I'll be using it soon and I'll show it to you. I'll tell you what, guys, that natto tastes like butter. I am not kidding. I actually thought somebody put butter in it. I'm like, wait a second, this is not right. No butter, just a natural bean. The Japanese do a lot with soybeans, and I know a lot of people are against them. You should look at the latest data though, because there was a huge misunderstandings, and I never really, honestly, I never believed them. I never believed in when the negative press about soybeans and the data that now recently basically overturned a lot of the negative data basically in the end, because I tend to weigh out everything. So I don't just listen to one study. I look at multiple studies. I look at what humans use. And in Japan, I mean, they consume more soy beans than anybody in the world, and they live. I mean, they have the longest life expectancy of any industrialized nation. And the thing is, it's not just that, they're beans. I have a really hard time believing that beans are bad for you because the data looks so good on so many different kinds of beans. And to be honest, in my opinion, just my opinion, nobody freak out. I don't believe you can be a healthy vegetarian without beans. I just don't believe so. I mean, you could try, you could get your nutrients other ways, and maybe you can, but I don't believe so because I think beans are actually quite magical. I actually think that beans are like the vegetarian meat. you need beans. Beans are just so good for you. Not only rich in fiber, I mean, the amount of protein in natto, for example, which is, again, it's a fermented bean though. See, that's the only difference. As much as I like beans, I really into fermented foods, and I think the fermented beans are just straight up magical. I really do. There's not a lot of them. You got natto and you got tempeh. I mean, that's about all I can think of. I'm sure there's more, but those are the ones that I use. In fact, I just had a tempeh last night with my dinner, and I love tempeh. Tastes so good. I don't know. It tastes like well, it's kind of like bread. See, that's the other thing. I don't eat bread. Um, I got off the bread train a long time ago, and I don't even buy it. I just don't buy it. Once in a while, I'll have somebody who will like buy some and be like, "Look, I got this really amazing bagel," and I'll be like, yeah, I don't really eat it." And they're like, "Oh, come on, have a bagel with me," and then we'll put like avocado on it, and yeah, it's delicious. Look, I'm not saying I don't like bread. I did have some type of Ezekiel pita bread yesterday for dinner and the day before because it was almost like a taco. That was interesting, and it is good, but I don't think I'm going to do it on the regular or anything. So I'm lenient with my protocols, and I try to do things that are healthy. Okay, we're going to go clean hydrogen water. Now, maybe guys, comment below. Should I be talking about the things that I'm talking about? Like right now, I'm just rambling about you know things about my life, or should I be talking about what I'm doing in the smoothie? Like, I realize I'm trying to make this smoothie and I'm not talking about it. I just cut up ginger, and I don't know if you prefer for me to just talk about the smoothie or about my life, really. Okay, let me read some of your guys' stuff here. Northern Yeti, what is your cholesterol level? Mine gets crazy low when I eat healthy. I'd have to go look. All I know is that they said it was perfect. See, once they tell me that, I didn't even bother like trying to look at the number. Unless they tell me that I need work on it, I don't really pay attention. You are not crazy. I love your open book mentality, says Dana. Thank you, Dana. I appreciate that. Cynthia says, I don't think it's not perfect for you, but there is the possibility that it isn't perfect for everyone. For example, diabetics. But overall, you have a healthy practice and it's nice for you to share. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, with diabetes, I don't know if you guys are aware, you really should look at the latest data and you can find it if you're interested. Is anybody in here diabetic? I mean, I recommend going to look. And the reason I like this doctor is not because, um, the reason I like him is because he just shows you scientific studies and not just short term, but long term. And he shows you, he does a lot of research about who did the studies, how it was performed, because there's a lot of studies that were done by certain industries that can be misleading. And he's very well aware of that. And you can literally go to YouTube and type in nutritionfacts.org, and then you put a space, and then you put diabetes. And you can see the data about really what affects it. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions. I personally have worked with some people, remember, no medical advice, no nothing, but I have worked with people who I know who've had diabetes, and they've done the techniques that I use for my life. And that was the one where the doctor couldn't believe the results. He was just like, this is not possible. Like, he literally thought it was worthy of a Nobel Prize. He just thought it was impossible. What he was witnessing was what he literally called the impossible. And people get too hung up on sugar. Because I understand that diabetes is obviously related to blood glucose, but the problem is that there's been studies on how sugar from different things affect the body differently. So processed sugar is very different than the sugar from a beet, the sugar from an apple. It really affects the body very differently. And in fact, part of the reason I make this smoothie was because I found, and regulating blood glucose is not just for diabetics, guys. It's extremely important for us as humans to regulate our blood glucose for our health. And one of the things that that I remember reading, and this is part of the reason I created this smoothie, was because the Japanese had done a study, and it shocked them too. They did not expect the results that came out, which is they were finding that you could regulate blood glucose all day long if you were to consume vegetables first thing in the morning. And I say first thing in the morning, but I always consume the hydrogen water first, because that also has been shown to help regulate blood glucose. In my opinion, I'm going to say that because remember, I'm not giving any medical advice or whatever medical claims. But so I've seen that, and so I use the combination. And that obviously led to learning about more about the human body, because it literally led to a new discovery about the human body that's extremely important in regards to regulating blood glucose, which of course in turn is going to affect something like diabetes. And so sometimes we look at a problem and we're just like, well, we got to, we look at something like diabetes and it's like, oh, okay, well, we have to just stop all sugar. We think about things what I would call almost very two-dimensionally, rather than understanding the deeper intricacies of the issue that could potentially be happening in the body that's causing the symptom. But anyway, yada, yada, yada. I guess I shouldn't get into all that. I'll just do my thing. And I guess, like somebody said, I guess you guys can just watch if you want to just see me do my thing. Kind of funny. I'm going to put broccoli sprouts in here. Extremely good for you. Highly anti-cancerous. Whoops. Put a little too much in there, but that's okay. I don't mind too many broccoli sprouts. And some people will say, you put way too many ingredients in that smoothie. That can't possibly be good for you. And, well, it's okay. You don't have to do it. That's what I'm doing now. What am I looking for? I was looking for, you know what I was looking for, guys? I just realized I forgot to soak my walnuts and my raisins. Wah. You know what I'm going to do? I'm still going to put some in there. I'm just going to put a little bit though. I like to have them soaked because now they're dry, and I like to have them carry water rather than pull water from my GI. But walnuts are so good for you, and I like them. And they're very filling and satisfying, and I don't need them in my smoothie, but I'm going to put them in there. Okay, let's keep adding a little water. If you notice, I'm adding water as I go. You can either use clean water, hydrogen water, whichever one you prefer. And actually, before I add the water, I just realized, holy cow, I'm going to put a banana in this sucker. That's what I'm going to do. All right, just so you guys can check it out. Let's put a banana in there. So, like I said, at least my morning routine, you guys don't have to do it this way, but the reason I'm sharing it with you guys is because honestly, I get a lot of people asking. A lot of people like, I want to know what you do. I want to know your routine. I clean my mouth, basically brush with no toothpaste. I just use a little water and essential oil just to clean up the mouth. Then I drink the hydrogen water. And then after I drink the hydrogen water, I do some stretching. I do my water routine as far as making the clean water. And then I make the smoothie. So, I mean, you're kind of seeing my morning routine. Today I had one of those. Today's a day that what's funny about today, now that I'm kind of laughing at myself about it. Organic chia seeds, full of minerals, nutrients. And they're soaked in hydrogen water. So these things are going to bring a lot of water to my GI system, which is what I like to do. Part of my own personal protocol. And, today was supposed to be a day. I looked at my calendar. I always have everything on my calendar. I looked at my day and I was like, oh, I was thinking tomorrow, which is today. I always check my calendar the day before. I'm like, oh, I don't really have a lot going on. I'm going to be able to sleep in a little bit, take a little bit of a rest. I've been busy lately. I'm going to get to chillax. It's going to be all great. And of course, I immediately got more busy than normal. I was like, what? What is going on? Okay, we're going celery next. When I don't put celery in my smoothie, I mean, it's fine, but I really did miss it. There's something about the celery I like. It feels like a little bit like a natural salt, a little salty in a way. It feels rich in minerals. It's clearly carrying a lot of water. Celery is one of those ones that I would not want to buy that's not organic. There's certain things that I just absolutely want organic. Blueberries, yes. Celery, yes. My greens, my carrots, my beets. I mean, I guess I'm getting to just about everything I want organic, but those are the ones that are important to me. If they have really thick skin, like an avocado, okay, it doesn't have to be organic. But this thing, I'm not peeling any skin off of this sucker, and so I really prefer for it to be organic. And look, just so you guys know, maybe you agree, maybe you don't agree, but this is the data. Even if it's organic, don't think that there's no pesticides on it. There still could potentially be some. And all I'm really trying to do is minimize my consumption of pesticides, because there's just too much stuff in our environment. Did you know, I just saw some data today. 11 million people roughly in America die every year. 11 million people because of food. They were talking about if only, what was it? Something like 15 to 20% of your diet is some type of processed food. It shortens your life by, I can't remember what the number was, like by 15% or something like that. I can't remember all those numbers. The only number that really stuck with me was 11 million people die in America every year because of our food. You know, I'll tell you one thing, I don't feel like the system is interested in helping us live longer. And yet, that's part of our happiness. I don't think that the system is interested in human happiness, but they should be. You know why? Because we're more productive when we're happy. I think we'd have less crime if we were happy. I think we'd have less people on antidepressants and drugs and, whatever. We'd have a lot less problems, in my opinion, if people were happy. Now, that's just my opinion, give or take. Whatever you believe, it's all good, guys. Just remember, I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just saying. Because that's what I find in my life. I just think that if I'm happier, everything's going to just, not that I would go and hurt somebody if I wasn't happy, because I don't have that desire. But I just think that should be one of the most important things, is to have humans healthy and happy. And you know what? Then we're happy to work. I mean, really, we'll do so much. It's when we're miserable and we got to go to work on top of it. That's just what makes it worse. I'll read you guys' comments here in a second, by the way. I want to finish up this smoothie because I do have things to do, but my little downtime is when I get to sit down and drink my precious smoothie that some people think is ridiculous. And you know what? Maybe it is, guys. Maybe I'm ridiculous. Look at me. Maybe I am just a ridiculous fool who thinks that all these fruits and veggies in this blender are going to do anything good for me. I should just have a bowl of Lucky Charms and go about my day. Yeah, if you eat Lucky Charms, you're going to get lucky, dude. Your life will go well. Them Lucky Charms. I can make the little leprechaun voice. Get some Lucky Charms in you. Luck of the Irish. I don't even know how to do an Irish accent. By the way, thanks for all the thumbs up, guys. That really, I don't know. Does it do anything? I don't know. Does it help my algorithm? I don't know. But it's a nice gesture, and it's free. Just like hugs, just like saying nice words to people. It's all free. Maybe just a smile. I got funny stories about that. I don't know if I should share, but I guess I got nothing else to talk about. When I was a kid, I had this little thing. My parents used to they thought it was hilarious, I guess. But when I was a kid, I've always been a car guy, so I always loved cars. So I used to love little toy cars. I used to love riding around in the car. And wherever we would ride, I would put my face up against the window and I would just stare at everybody like in other cars. And I would smile at them. I just wanted to smile at everybody. I was just hoping that somebody would look at me so that I could give them a smile. I used to do that. And I don't know, my parents got a kick out of it. They just thought it was hilarious because everywhere we went, I would always look out the window and I would want to smile at people. And it was funny because it would throw people off. They're like, why is this kid smiling at me? And then of course people started smiling back, but I don't know why I did that. I used to always do that. Back in the days when there was no car seats, I was just sticking my face right up against that glass. And I couldn't wait for somebody to look at me so that I could smile at them. It was so funny. I don't know. I actually forgot about that till just right now, just telling you guys the stories. I got all sorts of little stories. I used to, this is still a problem in my life, actually. And I say a problem because apparently it used to bother some people, but I used to, when I was a kid, it didn't bother people so much. As I got older, it started to bother people. But I used to always like to, I was always a big hugger. And just, I think what it is I just like to show love. I really do care about people. I mean, honestly, that's part of the reason that I do these videos. Because if I didn't care, I would just do my thing. And look, believe me, I can do my thing. I don't need to be sharing any of this. I got no problem with that. For me, this is not an ego thing. Like, oh, I gotta have a bunch of followers. This is so important to me. No. If anything, I actually want to go live an extremely peaceful life out in nature and away from all the madness of the world. I'm really actually a lot into, the meditations and the clean lifestyle and a very, very simple, peaceful lifestyle. That's my desire. And it's something I'm going to do. I'm working towards it. I'm planning towards it. Those things take time to plan. And I've been literally planning on it for years. That's why I'm literally going to be leaving in the very near future. I don't know how many videos I'll do in the near future because I don't really know. To be really honest with you guys, I was actually going to do a video, and I thought you guys would just, I don't think anybody will like it. That's the thing. And I mean, I don't think people want to watch videos of me living a peaceful life and meditating and stuff. People don't want to see that, but I could maybe make videos of making my breakfast if people really want, or a little bit of a routine, because I really am trying to create not necessarily the perfect routine, but a perfect routine that I can do, that I can live with, that will make me happy. Like I said, I've been looking for happiness all my life, guys, just so you know. For the regulars in this, in the video today, that is what I've been looking for. I've been searching for happiness. And I know that happiness is not things. I know that happiness is not money. I know that happiness, although it can be simple, it can also be a little, it's like kind of like health. You find a problem like diabetes. You're like, hey, I got to stop eating sugar. How about I just eat nothing but meat, something like that, but it doesn't work. Some people think it does, but it doesn't in the long term. You got to remember long term. It's all about the long term. And so, it's just one of those things. Happiness to me is something that really lasts, or at least should last forever, or maybe the rest of your life, if something's temporary, now this is my opinion, remember, I'm not saying that this is what you believe in, but this is my personal opinion. If I can be happy by doing something temporary, like eating a cheeseburger or buying a new car or buying a new outfit, and your happiness lasts for a day, a week, a month, whatever, to me, that's not true happiness. It's just not. And you can call it happiness, but in my definition, it's not really true happiness. It's not what I'm looking for, at least, because then I'll be chasing that forever. I'll always be chasing the next thing, the next product, the next paycheck, whatever. And that's just not my personal, opinion about happiness. That doesn't work for me, but it might work for others, and that's okay. Again, it's totally good, guys. Look at this banana. Holy cow, huh? Don't be jealous, guys. Look at the size of this thing. Woo-wee, bananas. They make the smoothie taste good. Did I already add one in here? I did add one in here, but this one's different. This is the one that's going to add the flavor. The other one was kind of greeny. I got it on sale, and they taste green, and they're not ripening right, so I guess that's why they were on sale. But, when I see produce on sale that's organic, I buy it, if it looks edible. And it did look edible, but it didn't make the smoothie taste really good. And so, yeah, anywho, so that's me, that's my life, and that's just, not perfect, guys. Let's have some magic ingredients, though, shall we? And when I say magic ingredients, I mean it. I mean, these ingredients, we already added a lot of good stuff, but these last little touches that we're about to do, it's kind of like the final touch on, I don't know, a house, a painting, something. But one of the magic ingredients that really just has taken things to the next level is these trace minerals. And I want to look in here because magnesium, 330, oh my goodness, a lot of magnesium in here. And natural magnesium, not some silly magnesium that somebody put in a supplement. This is actually coming from water, actually. They were extracting the minerals from the ocean. I like natural stuff. Okay, minerals, because it works with the fibers, by the way, guys. Even though some people say, no, it doesn't work. It works. I've seen the data. But if you don't believe it, that's okay. You don't have to believe everything I say. All right, let's blend this up, shall we? There you go. That's a happy smoothie right there. Mm-hmm. That is a good smoothie, I can tell already. Can't wait to try it. Let's take some compost. All right, let that thing blend. Hopefully it doesn't dance off the counter like the other day. Oh, gosh. I don't think anybody wants to see my compost bucket, but I don't know. I'm always so happy when I see it. I gotta take that out. It's so full. Compost. All right. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your compost, dude. That's okay. Nobody has to care. My life, my happiness. When I see what I've been putting in my body, it makes me happy. You know, if I had a garbage full of processed wrappers, I'm like, okay, that all went into my body. Somehow it doesn't make me feel very happy. So when I see a compost full of fruits and vegetables, it makes me happy. Okay, we're gonna put some hydrogen water in this while I blend this, and we'll put some more magic ingredients. Let's do that, shall we? Shall we? Okay, here we go. And more magic ingredients. Magic ingredients. All right, we got more magic ingredients here. Now, here's the thing. I don't need any crazy weird supplements. These are literally, they're just minerals, and I'm shaking while I'm shaking it. Anyway, these are just minerals with nutrients. I mean, that's all it is. I'm not trying to do anything crazy. They're just, keep it simple. Last one. I'm not sure. Sounds like it's not quite blended to me. All right, well, we're just gonna have to try. Hopefully it's good. Okay, hopefully it doesn't pop out at me and get my smoothie all over me. Aha, voila, look at that. It's like a baked cake. Oops. So good. Let's try this sucker. Looking good so far. Really, really thick. Full of, I'll tell you one thing. There's a lot of minerals in this thing. There's a lot of different protein in here. A lot of different amino acids. A lot of phytonutrients. A lot of fiber. A lot of antioxidants. I don't know. A lot of stuff. Ooh, that tastes good. I can tell already. All right, let's do this. My very first magic ingredient. D3 with K2. We know that D3 is excruciatingly important. Extremely important, I think what I was looking for. But it's almost in no food. So it's hard to get this nutrient. This is why this is a must, in my opinion, every single day. It's the way that I do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It literally just drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I believe 4 drops is equal to 5,000 IUs. I'm doing just a tad more. Next one, and it's ionic. I believe in ionic stuff. Ionic zinc. Why? Well, I had this leftover bottle. I knew it was going to go bad, so I'm using it up. I'm getting plenty of zinc from my Purium powder in a food form, and this is ionic, which means that the food form is actually better. Ionic is the second best in my opinion, and that seems to be based off of data. So I try to get everything from food rather than all this stuff. But this is really very natural. This is just, from food and from, for example, ocean water. High potent chlorophyll. Now this stuff, guys, this stuff is nuts. If you've seen this thing, look at this. This will stain everything it touches. I'm just going to put like, I don't know, 3 drops because I think we're getting enough greens. But just, I mean, what do they recommend on here? What do they recommend? They said shake well, do not refrigerate. Come on. And super tiny writing. Can you guys read this? I can, just because my eyes are, thank God for hydrogen. But this stuff, where the heck, how much does it say to take? Suggested use, 0.5 mLs. Oh, actually half a teaspoon. So it's probably a little bit more than that. All right, I'll put a tiny bit more. Jeez. I think I'm getting enough as a thing. It's not like I'm dropping these drops into just water. I'm dropping them into this thing full of fruits and vegetables. But I like to combine it with fiber. This was kind of one of my more favorite ones lately is boron, and there isn't anything in here. Oh, there's a drop came out. Oh, there's another drop. There's like nothing in there. I've been trying to get more boron, but geez. Okay, now let's go with a couple. I got 2 more magic ingredients. You guys know what they are? The regulars do. The regulars like, of course we know, Greg. We watch you make this thing every flipping morning. One of these days, I'm going to do it. And you know what? You can do it for a day and you're going to love it. But your body will love it more if you do it every day. This goes in the refrigerator. I'm not stealing it because actually I'm going to give that to somebody here shortly, which means that I don't really need to seal it. If it was going to go in there for half a day, I would seal it. You guys know the vacuum sealer. Here's one of the magic ingredients. Hemp hearts. See, Diane knows. Why? So many nutrients, most well-balanced omegas, basically protein in the world, and they taste nuttily delicious, and they really do. Maybe they should put them in the Lucky Charms. Magically delicious. The little Lucky Charms guy has a little hemp plant. That'd be hilarious, wouldn't it? Lucky Charms guy's got a little hemp plant. You get all these mushrooms growing out of them. All right, let's try this. I'm already eager. Let's try it. Oh yeah, that came out really good. I didn't even put raisins in it. Okay, let's get our one more magic ingredient. Anybody know what the next magic ingredient is? Somebody must know, right? Come on. It's literally part of my name. You guys know the next magic ingredient. Okay. Gosh, that is so good. That really came out good today. Oh, turning on my next magic ingredient. And everybody's going to be like, is that a magic ingredient? It is considered food these days, apparently. It's just kind of weird. But maybe it's just because of what it does. And that is hydrogen. Diane knows. Okay, she's a regular. I think you got it down, Diane. You don't even need my videos anymore. You know. Okay. You know what? I was going to try an experiment today. Let me see. I was going to see if I'm going to YouTube right now, going to my own YouTube channel, to see if I can see your comments on my computer. Some people apparently want to see my face when I'm doing this, but I can't. This really is delicious. Okay. Wow. Really? This is going to be interesting. Let's just try this out. Oh, this is going to be very interesting. Okay. So I'm going to try, instead of reading the comments off of, instead of reading the comments off the phone, I'm going to try to point the camera at me, kind of. Good morning. And I'm going to try to read it off the computer. Let's see. Let's see if they're actually here. Dana says, you're not crazy. I think we read that part. Okay, here we go. Dana Mitchell says, I like it when you talk about your life. We are watching the video so I can see what you're putting in. And I watched all the videos, so I know that you're putting in the shake. Just my opinion. Diane McKenzie says, hi, Greg. Yummy. That's good. Hold on, try something different here. Typo, I have watched. Okay, Cynthia, what's going on here? Here we go. Cynthia Guerra says, is that any vegetables? It's weird. And also, I was aware that there's a difference between the juice and eating them whole, but I could be wrong. Also, can you share maybe some of the sites you frequently use for, and then it just stopped right there. Oh, for studies and info. Okay, so Cynthia, let's answer her question, shall we? This is really good. I'm gonna get the hiccups. I have to pause talking sometimes because otherwise I get hiccups while I eat. Okay, she's asking if there's any vegetables. Can anybody answer that question? Because I thought it was almost obvious. Of course there's vegetables. The very first thing I put in there is, well, first I put the Purium powder, which is a lot of, vegetables in there, basically a lot of greens. Then the very first thing I put is actually vegetables. So I actually put all the greens in there. And then of course I use beets. That's a vegetable. I also put Carrots, that's a vegetable. I put celery, that's a vegetable. I put, I don't know, is there vegetables in it? I think so. I think there are. I'm kind of questioning which video you're watching. Here's the thing though, I want to take this earpiece out, which means that the phone would have to be close to me. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Take this thing out. Okay, let me know. So the answer is yes, there's vegetables in the smoothie. That's the whole purpose of it, actually. Because people don't like to consume vegetables. By the way, do you guys prefer for me to read it off the computer or the phone? Do you care? Do you not care? Let me know. Okay, as far as for studies, I mean, you can Google so many studies. I personally like, I like to watch a YouTube channel called nutritionfacts.org because there's a doctor there who shares studies and I really like it. I'm not sure you can hear me guys, but we're giving it a go. I think I need to adjust that camera a little more. I don't know, let's try that. All right, okay, let's keep going. Esteban Abundes says, very well said. I eat, oh boy, what happened here? I eat overnight oats. I eat overnight oats with an acai bowl, granola, coconut shreds, peanut butter, banana, and chia seeds. I'm gonna start adding celery and spinach, sea moss, and carrot greens. Thank you. Wow, very cool. I don't know if I would put the oats, but hey, that works. Dude says, his name's Dude. Oh, that's what he calls himself. All right. Dude, what up, Greg? Glad I can catch you live 2 days in a row. Woohoo. Diane McKenzie. Greg, will the hydrogen still be present from blending? I ask because you say not to move it around. No, Diane, I don't really expect that the hydrogen will stay in the water per se when you're blending it. But I have so much of it, I just use it. But I found that there's a study that I found where the hydrogen actually goes into the fruit and the vegetable. So I don't know by blending it if it leaves or if it's binding to something. We really don't know because there's not enough data. Nobody's ever done a study on blending hydrogen like that. You don't have to do it that way. And if I was really trying to do it right, I would probably let it soak for 20 minutes. But because of a live video, I don't think you guys want to see that. So I do things a little differently when you guys aren't watching due to time. So, this is so good. I really would like to put more hemp parts. Okay, Dude says crack. Crack? Weird, okay. Dude says, ah, so close. Diane McKenzie says test. Valium says kakala. Kakala? Whoa, wait a second. Kakala? I'm wondering who that is. Because that's a little bit of an inside joke between one of my friends. I wonder if that's him. I doubt it though. I don't think he'd be watching my video live. He'd be working right now. Enhance or explain, Val, what you mean by kakala. I know what kakala means. You guys know what kakala means? It's Russian. It's Russian for poopy. Poopy scoopy. All right, Diane McKenzie says, sprouts. Yes, I can hear. Oh, good. Alicia Gonzalez says, I like the camera adjustment. Oh, great. Honestly, this is more complicated for me. Trying something new. Let's see here. Alicia Gonzalez says, I like this. Oh, yeah. Solomon Bonilla says, hello. Thanks for your lives. You are awesome. Wow. Have an awesome day, Solomon. Well, that's mighty kind of you, Solomon. I don't know if I'm awesome, but thank you. Appreciate it. Ooh. I can see the chlorophyll in here. It's good. Cynthia Guerra says, that's not what I was talking about. I can obviously see you are putting veggies in there. Okay. Well, I don't know. Did I just like not understand? That's what I thought. And I actually watch almost every video. I just never comment. I was referring to the previous comment. Oh. Concerning diabetes. And you saying there is studies that show that eating veggies in the morning regulate blood glucose. Yeah, that was a study from Japan. I don't think you'll find that study in the US. It probably, because it doesn't exist. They've never done that study. It was a Japanese study, pretty new, and it's gonna be revolutionary. A lot of the stuff that I find in Japan takes literally 5, 10, even 20 years before it makes it to America, and some never makes it. So if that tells you anything. Maybe that's better. Okay. Hopefully that answers your question, Cynthia. You're just gonna have to take my word for it, I guess, or you could not. It's fine. It doesn't bother me either way. Oh, you know what I gotta do? My phone's gonna die. I gotta plug it in. It's part of the routine in the morning when I do this for you guys. I have to plug in this phone because otherwise it uses up so much juice when it's live. It's actually part of the reason I have to buy a new phone, because my old battery would just literally just die when I went live. It would just last, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes or less. So, okay. Esteban Abundes says, why skip on the oats? Would love to hear your thoughts. What I would probably do with oats, it's not that it's just the way that it makes me feel. There's just something weird about oats. I know they're good for you. What I would probably do is I would stick to the primarily fruits and vegetables and water and get all that in me. And then later on when I'm hungry again, then I would probably have a bowl of just like oatmeal, maybe some blueberries, maybe some raw honey, maybe raisins, whatever you want to put in it, maybe a little cinnamon. I don't know why. A lot of stuff I go off of instinct, and I will say that I've been proven right quite often. Just putting oats with all the fruits and vegetables, I don't know. It doesn't feel right to me for whatever reason. I do not know why. So I can't explain it. You can do it. That's just, I guess that's what I wouldn't do it. I mean, not like, I don't know how much you're putting. Maybe you're just putting a splash. I don't know. Alicia Gonzalez says, have you found data on hydrogen water helping with enhanced intestinal permeability and lipopolysaccharide exposure? Can't say that I have. No, I think what I've seen in regards to this is what I've seen in regards to the intestines. There's a lot of inflammation in people's intestines these days. And the pesticides, the processed foods, I personally think that hydrogen, I'm getting a work call. I wonder if I could keep it going live on my computer somehow. Let's see here. Wow. It's not working though, I gotta say. By the way, if this messes it up, I'm gonna have to go back to reading off the phone. Let's try this. Yeah, I don't think it's quite working. Okay, well, some type of delay. Let's see here. Yeah, so in regards to inflammation in the colon, in regards to better absorption in there, if there's things like fungal or different bad bacteria in the colon, I think I might have to go back to the old ways, guys. I'm really sorry here because somehow it's not quite working on my We can try that maybe again next time, but I gotta read it off the phone. It's not quite working here. But we tried. We tried. Thanks for trying, guys. And then I might have to take this work call here in a second. Might be important. Okay. Let's try this again. Have you found any data? Oh yeah, so I think that hydrogen is helping me with the absorption of nutrients, mostly because of also the way that it moves the blood. I like keeping my colon really clean, which means lots of fiber. That's another reason that I made this thing, because you just can't consume enough fiber. It's very difficult to consume the right amounts. And what is it? Let me think of the number. Less than 3% of Americans consume the minimum amount of fiber that is required. Okay, anyway. And so in regards to permeability, as far as the lipopolysaccharide exposure, I'd have to do a little reading on that if you want. I'm sure you could easily find the information too, but I can do it if it's that important. How do you access studies to Japan, says Cynthia. Typically, it's actually really difficult. Basically, you have to do a lot of reading and a lot of translating. And, you know, a lot of times there's shows in Japan where they talk about the latest studies in regards to health, because the Japanese are obsessed with health. So when they have these new studies, I tend to find them. Okay, Esteban Abundes says, totally makes sense, thank you. I heard mixing certain food groups like nuts and seeds with fruits and veggies can cause bloating. You know, I think it depends on the person. I also think it takes a while for the body to acclimate. Like, I mean, I'm mixing nuts, seeds, veggies, fruits. I got zero problems. I don't get bloated. But I think your gut bacteria do adapt. They literally start adapting extremely quick. And you'll see huge changes in just a week or two. And if you're gonna live your whole life trying to not mix certain foods, life is gonna be very complicated. I've tried to make it just simple. It may not be perfect. I'm gonna go get more smoothie. But, you know, we do the best we can. Okay, any last questions before I leave? Yeah, I mean, this is just what I do. You know, there are some people, not a lot actually, but there are once in a while there's people who don't agree, and it's like, it's okay. It doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna get all mad about it. This is what I do. And the only thing that would make me change is if I really found something that showed that what I'm doing is wrong, especially my own blood work. But it's never looked better. And I used to have terrible blood work, so. Okay, guys, any last questions before I say goodbye? I guess I could try to make the phone call on my other phone, but that'd be weird to take a phone call while I'm live. Yeah, that'd be weird. Okay. Sometimes the phone calls are only like 30 seconds and then, you know, but I think I answered all you guys' questions. I think the video was long enough. Thanks for all the thumbs up. Like I said, unless you guys have any last final thoughts, maybe I'll just say goodbye today and get to work. All right, it was nice seeing you, Greg, says dude. All right, dude. Thank you, thank you. Looks like a beautiful day today, full of light and sunshine. I'm gonna just continue to drink my smoothie here that apparently has too many ingredients. It's okay. You guys do you. In fact, for those who think that there's too many ingredients, I'd like to hear what they suggest. They're just like, spinach and a banana, that's it. I'd like to hear it, go for it. You know, I just never would get all these foods in me as a thing. But I'm up for hearing it. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time on the next one. Have a good day, says Alicia Gonzalez. Thank you, Alicia. You too. I hope you guys have a good one. All right, till next time.